Okay, welcome everybody to the lesson today. Today we're doing phrasal verbs with the verb bear inside. There aren't too many with the verb bear, I'm pleased to say, but they are all very common phrasal verbs. Bear off, bear down on someone, bear on, bear out, or bear someone out, or bear something out. Bear up, bear in mind, bear with, and bear witness to are the ones we're going to look at today. Let me just check everything is working. Okay, it seems to be okay. We have 10 people here, which is great. So we're going to start with bear off. Now, I've read somewhere that this is actually originally a sailing expression. And when you bear off, you bear away, you move away from the wind. If you're moving into the direction of the wind and you bear off, you move away from that wind coming straight at you. But I don't know about you guys, I don't do a lot of sailing in spite of the fact that I live on the coast. I have tried it once and I think it's great fun. But we usually use this word nowadays with cars. And if you bear off the road, you simply take a direction which is not straight along the road, but you take another road which goes in a slightly different direction, to the left or to the right. I mean, on a picture, it just literally means turn left. You might say, well, that's just turn left. If you bear left, yeah, you go that direction. Yeah, if you're going along the road like this and then you bear left, you go that direction. You bear off. And you can just say bear left or bear right. And it means stay on the left and move to the left. It's very similar to veer off. When you veer off in a slightly different direction, it means you're going straight and then you veer off. You bear off, maybe to the left or maybe to the right. But you simply take another road and you're not going straight anymore, but you're going pretty close to straight. You usually use this bear off for when you're leaving the road at an acute angle and not at a right angle. At a right angle, I don't think we usually would say bear off, but we say veer off or bear off for if you leave the main road at an acute angle. So you pull off the main road usually when you bear off or veer off. So please remember that one. It's a useful one for driving in traffic, and we very often say bear to the left or bear left. Just bear left, bear right. That would be another expression here. I don't think it's a phrasal verb, but we do often use it. Bear left and bear right, very similar to bear off the road. Veer off the road would also be possible. Now if you bear down, this is quite old-fashioned, in my opinion. It's got no object, this one, although bear down on someone certainly has an object. But if you bear down, you knuckle down, you buckle down. Please remember these old phrasal verbs from other lessons. They're also very useful. So it means work hard, apply oneself earnestly. If you bear down, you really try and work hard and get serious about this work in order to finish it. So it's very similar to knuckle down or buckle down. Now, if you bear down on someone, that means that you're moving towards someone and you're getting closer and it's in a threatening way. So maybe you're a pupil at school and you say, oh look, there's the headmaster, he's bearing down on us, quick, leg it, yeah, run away. He might be bearing down on you because he wants to tell you off, something like that. So bear down on, it's very similar to close in on, home in on, or zone in on, because all of those we use when you go after someone, yeah, when you chase someone, when you run after someone or go after someone and approach them, you can say, I closed in on him, I homed in on him, I zoned in on him. They all have slightly different meanings as well. But bear down on someone, the important part is that you move towards someone or something in a threatening way. Really quite common, that one. Okay, if we say bear on, it's exactly the same as the very formal phrasal verb pertain to. Bear on means to have a connection to or to be relevant to. So you might say something like this. Maybe you're a lawyer and you think that when the prosecution lawyer made his argument, the facts that he used were not connected to the crime at hand. They were irrelevant. And then you might say the facts didn't bear on the crime. So to bear on, or to have a bearing on, and we very often see it in the noun form, to have a bearing on. So have a bearing on or bear on, they both mean to be connected to or to be related to. And bear upon is the same, but it's just slightly more formal. But there is a second meaning here which is very similar. Bear on can also mean influence or affect. So if I say the test results don't bear on your final mark, it means this test is not connected to your final mark, and so it won't influence it in any way. It won't have any bearing on your final mark. It won't influence, it won't affect that final mark. So please remember bear on. It's very useful, it's very common, it's very often used. Now, if we say to bear something out, here we mean to corroborate or verify. Very similar now to another phrasal verb which I think I forgot when I did phrasal verbs with hold, so I'm sorry about that. I did hold up, but I don't think I did this particular meaning. Now, if something bears you out, it verifies what you say, it corroborates what you say, it confirms what you say. So we might, if you're a scientist, you might say the results didn't bear out our hypothesis, or the results didn't bear us out, and then it means didn't corroborate what you thought the results would be. But very often used like this, the results didn't bear out our hypothesis. You could also use hold up like this, our hypothesis didn't hold up, which means our hypothesis wasn't confirmed, it wasn't corroborated, it wasn't verified. So hold up has no object, but is exactly the same meaning as bear someone or something out, which has an object right here. So pretty common again, this one. If you say something like, the evidence didn't bear his alibi out, it didn't corroborate his alibi, it didn't verify his alibi, so perhaps he's guilty. So to bear out, it means to corroborate or verify. Very similar to bear witness to or bear testimony to, but we'll see this one in a moment. This one is more often used in formal legal circumstances. This one can be used in legal circumstances. I just used it in one, but this one is more formal. Okay, bear up. It means, again, to hold up, but in the sense of cope well with a difficult situation or illness. We have no object with this phrasal verb. So we usually say it like this: how are you bearing up? I heard you caught flu last week. How are you bearing up? Or I heard your wife left you last week. How are you bearing up? How are you coping with this difficult situation? We can also say, how are you holding up? And if you say he's bearing up well, or he's holding up well, it's very similar to he's soldiering on, he's marching on. In spite of difficulty, he's going to get through this illness, this disease, or this very difficult situation, this very upsetting situation. So pretty common, bear up as well. Bear in mind means keep in mind and is a very common phrase. It means don't forget, please remember. So something like this, I might say to my children, bear in mind you'll need to take your guitar to school tomorrow because it's guitar lesson, something like that. So bear in mind, keep in mind, don't forget, please remember, very common. Bear with, another very common expression. Bear with me a moment while I put you through is my example. So if you're on the telephone, somebody is going to put you through to somebody else, going to connect you to somebody else. Very often you call a bank and they say, bear with me a moment while I put you through to the mortgage department, or bear with me a moment while I put you through to sales, whatever it is, or loans, home loans. So bear with me a moment is the most common phrase, and it means hang on a second, stay with me, be patient, and I will put you through. Okay, very common. Bear witness to or bear testimony to. It means exactly the same as testify to, attest to. These two are very formal, very often used in legal English. And here again it means confirm or corroborate. So the luxurious house he lived in bore witness to his fabulous wealth. Yeah, and here we just mean it demonstrated that he was fabulously wealthy. It confirmed, it corroborated, it testified to the fact that he was a very wealthy man. Okay, and so very formal expression, but quite common. I'm sure most people know it. So that's all of the bare phrasal verbs that that came to mind today. If you have any questions about any of these bare phrasal verbs, please put them under the video. And of course, the best way to learn these bare phrasal verbs, it's the same with any vocabulary. The best way to learn new vocabulary is to use it again, in speech especially. Not so much in your essays, although you can use them there, but I think it's much more valuable to use them in speech, and then you'll immediately hear if you're using them correctly or if you're using them incorrectly, because your teacher will tell you. So please activate these new bare phrasal verbs. Please like the video, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be very happy to see you all soon in the next class. Thanks for watching.